your attention, please. We have the never-ending battle between the end of lunch and the start of work. And you got to keep pushing yourself to get the best you possibly can, because as you are better able to get settled into work mode and learn mode, the quicker and better you're going to learn. Now, Giselle, I appreciate the beauty of your design. It looks great, but it's time to get to work. Now, okay. What do I always say about the first quiz in a series of 3?
Doesn't
Doesn't matter. Completely irrelevant. The purpose of the quiz is to show you what you need to get better at. And if you then go home and either watch the video that we're about to do in a minute, or if you work with friends, or however you want to best learn, you track it down and you get better tomorrow, and then even better the day after that, it served its purpose. It's not about the grade that's on the top. It's about this revealing to you and to me. It reveals to me what the class needs to work on, and it reveals to you what you individually need to work on. So, without any further ado, let's get started on these particular questions. Now, excuse me. So the first one says 7 times x minus 2 equals 5x plus 30. 7 times x minus 2 equals 5x plus 30. As soon as you see that number outside the parentheses, what do you think to yourself? Distribute. Very good. So I distribute the 7, and I get 7x minus 14 equals 5x plus 30. Is this the same side situation or an opposite side? Opposite side?
Opposite operation.
Nice. Minus the 5x's from both sides. Die. 2x minus 14 equals 30. Add 14 to both sides, as that's opposites again. 2x is 44. Divide by 2. And I get x is 22. And the good news is, I know I did that a little quickly toward the end. The good news is that the vast majority of you got that right. If, for some reason, you did not get that question right, you really, really need to be an extra help, so that I can look at your work one-on-one and I can see where the breakdown is. What step or two are you not seeing? All right, because that's a very fundamental, typical, routine kind of question. And you're not bad if you get it wrong. You're only bad if you don't do anything about the fact that you got it wrong. Okay? All right, so the next up, number 2, says 3x plus 4x minus 2 minus 5 is 3x minus 27. We always look for same side first. Does anybody see a same side situation here?
Yeah.
Same side?
Same operation.
So 3x's plus 4x's is 7x's, and 2 negatives and 5 negatives make negative 7. And that in turn is going to equal, did I copy that down right?
No,
You
you
put
put 4x.
4x minus 7. Instead it should be 7.
Oh, 7x minus 7, sorry about that. Okay, equals 3x minus 27. Now it's opposite side situation, so I go back like I did on the red one, minus 3x, die. Danger. 7x is minus 3x is 4x minus 7 is, careful here, that's a negative 27. So I have to make sure it says negative 27 there. That is a place where kids will make a mistake. Please look at your paper if you got it wrong and see right here, did you forget the negative?
I got that one.
It's a very common place to make a mistake right there. Kids will just write 27. Okay? Now, opposites. Add the 7 to both sides, die. 4x equals negative 20. Divide by 4. X is negative 5. Okay? So 22 and negative 5 were the first two answers. Now, I would not characterize these as easy equations, but I would say that we've been doing them for quite a while. And in the course of doing these for quite a while, we've been through them enough that you should have at least a pretty good level of comfort with these. And if you're not getting them right, you need to say to yourself, okay, we need to do this more one-on-one or one-on-two or three. And extra help in the mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Extra help Tuesday at the Carnegie Library, which is at 5:30 at night. Tuesdays, 5:30 to 7:30. You find a way to get yourself there, and then we work on this and we get you better at it. Yes, Dave?
Do you have it tomorrow?
No, not on Fridays.
So you have it every other day except Friday?
I don't have it on Tuesdays either.
Fridays.
I'm only supposed to have it on Mondays and Wednesdays,
Yeah.
but I also include it on Thursdays, particularly in case we have a test Friday. But Friday morning, a number of teachers and I get together, and we usually either do a little bit of work, or we have breakfast, or we do something like that, so.
Okay.
So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow morning.
But do you know when the thing is due?
The relearn packet?
Yeah.
I haven't set a definite date yet. Next week I'll set a definite date. Roughly a week and a half. I'm looking in not next week, the middle of the week after. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the last question. Those first two questions were very similar to things we've been doing now for a couple of weeks, and I would have fully expected an excellent sense of direction from kids on those. Now we get into something we've been working on for a couple of days. So I expected this to give a little bit more of a hard time, and honestly, I thought you did better than I expected. So the first thing that I noticed was that people knew to distribute. 4x plus 12. One person put plus 3 there. I think it was a careless mistake. Plus x equals 5x minus 9. Then, overwhelming number of you saw to put the x's together. That's 5 x's because it's the same size situation. It's 5x minus 9. And then we knew to subtract 5x. And it was at this point in time that we went in two directions. A lot of you got it right from here. But a number of you didn't know what to do from here, or you didn't know how to interpret from here. And it really is all about interpretation. So, when I subtract the 5x's from both sides, I eventually get to the point where it says 12 equals negative 9. Does 12 ever equals negative 9? No. So that means there's never a solution. Which means when it asks how many solutions are there, the answer is no or none. No solutions or none whatsoever. Now, some people got to this point and they put infinite solutions. It's only infinite if I had 12 equals 12, or negative 9 equals negative 9. When they work out to the same number at the end, there's infinite solutions. When they work out to different numbers, there's never a solution. Okay? All right, so now, by the way, don't go thinking to yourself, I got this. I got this. Because what we're going to do is tomorrow, just remember there's never a solution, so therefore there's no solutions. But tomorrow's might be infinite. I really don't know.
Watch list.
I really, truly don't know. So what I want you to remember and understand is the idea that at the end, if you come up with something like 12 equals negative 9, or 10 equals 20, obviously that's false. It's never true. And since it's never true, there's never a solution. Or, if they come out to be the same, like 10 equals 10, or 5 equals 5, then you would say, that's always true. So everything is always an answer. So there's infinite answers. Okay? All right, so that's a chunk of the work we've been working on lately. The one thing that we have worked on lately that has yet to appear on a quiz are those equations where you solve for x and they're all letters,
Yeah.
right?
No.
That's on the next quiz.
Why?
Just gotta know it. And in all honesty, once you get the hang of those, they're easier than numbers because you can't make a sloppy mistake. Now, or at least it's much harder to make a sloppy mistake. All right, we got the Grand Deacon of Dinero, blah, blah, blah. I'll give you money for a hint. If you
Why'd
triple
you-
the number of dollars, add 45. Results the same as if you multiply the number of dollars by 8. How much money does Tommy have in his bank account? Somebody tell me something I got on the line. Ava, what's one thing?
Oh, well, I was gonna ask something else, but, I can't see. Oh, add 45.
Okay, and let's just include it all the way back to where it says triple the dollars.
Oh,
Okay.
And, why'd you do, like, he acts the,
Just bad typing. Sometimes it has like auto type, so you spell something wrong and it just substitutes a word in there for you. So I am fully aware that it should say he asks. I'm just a
I didn't
horrible
even-
typist, and I'm maybe even a worse editor. I just don't look, so, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, what else is important in here? Something in here is also important. Go ahead, Giselle.
The number, I mean, is the same as you multiply the number of dollars by 8.
Okay, so we're gonna break this into two pieces. It's the same as, and then multiply the number of dollars by 8. So now that I have everything underlined that needs to be underlined, think about what's not underlined. The Grand Deacon of Denaro. Does he have to be called the Grand Deacon of Denaro?
Yes.
No, he could be called Grandpa,
Aw.
right? He could be called Mr. Michaels with the lady's bag on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He could be called anything he wants to be called. I don't care about that. Obviously, it's in his bank account. Okay, so triple the number of dollars, add 45. I'm going to use a D for dollars. Triple dollars, add 45. Result is the same as. What does that tell you? Result is the same as. What do I, no, Ava, where you going? No, you're not. Sit down. Guys, we're in the middle of a lesson. Don't get up to go throw things out because then people stop paying attention to the lesson and look at you. All right? What does is the same as mean? Come on, guys.
Same answer?
Yeah,
Like,
but
not same answer.
what's
as-
simple in math?
Equal.
Equals.
Aw.
And then, how do I write multiply the dollars by 8?
Times 8.
Yeah.
How do I write that?
Time.
8D. Now, is this the same side or opposite side? It's opposite side. So I subtract 3D from both sides. Die. 45 equals 5D. Divide by 5. D equals 9. And that's the correct answer.
Good job.
All right? Any questions?
No.
No.
Okay. So remember, what we're really here to understand and to think about. Listen, in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or whatever, Colonel LaRocque is going to come in. He's going to give the class a lesson all about how you can use math in the military and how it's helped his life and his career, and so on and so forth. He would be the first person to tell you that when he was in 8th grade, your grade, at the end of the year, they wanted to put him into special ed.
Why?
They wanted him, they felt that he couldn't do the work in school. And the truth of the matter is, it wasn't that he couldn't do the work, it's that he didn't know how to do the work. But once he started to learn how to do his work, he started to prosper in the classroom. So much so that it could be argued that of all the people he graduated with, he might be considered perhaps the most successful academically. Now, you may look at yourself in school and go, you know what? I have a hard time in school. And I think I stink at school. Well, they thought Harry stunk at school. They thought he was terrible. He just had to learn how to work. And once he learned how to work, he got great at school. I had him in the high school. Every market period, he got 100. Every midterm, he got 100. Every Regents exam, he got 100. In my class. And he did well in his other classes too. All because he learned how to do his work. If you're struggling, it's not because you're stupid. It's because you're not really fully aware of how to do your work. And to learn how to do your work, I need to talk to you one-on-one, which is one of the great things about Extra Help. And I need to see where you're breaking down and where you're going wrong. And then I can help you figure it out. But one of the keys is, one of the great keys to becoming good at anything that you do. If you are going to be a basketball player, I know Joe wishes he could be in the NBA. Joe, I wish it for you. I hope you can be there. But I know this much. If you were a professional basketball player, they would make video of you. And then when you're in the locker room hanging out, the coach would come over and he'd look at the video and he'd say, Joe, man, look at how good you did here. And look at how badly you did there. Look at how well you did. Look at how badly you did. We used to do it with our wrestlers all the time. Every wrestling match of every wrestler is taped, and we used to go over it with them all the time. Well, in class, the best I can do for you is, here's you do it, you do it, and if you get it wrong, you don't just say, okay, I'm done. You go home, and then you watch the video again, and you do it again. And this time you get it right. When you start doing that, you change from a kid who gets things wrong to a kid who starts getting everything right. And whether you want to do that or not is really what the key question here is. If you decide that you're willing to pay that price, you're going to be very, very good at the math you do. But if you decide that that's too much work for you, if you decide, I don't want to do that, I want to play video games. I don't want to do that, I want to text. And then you go pay no attention to your schoolwork. Then there's no reason in the world your schoolwork is going to be any better. Nothing to do with your brains. Has everything to do with your habits and your decisions. Okay, one number is 5 more than another number. The sum of the two numbers is 25. This is radically different. In every single problem that we have done so far, there has been one number in the problem. If you look at yesterday's sheet, it's about one number. A number is, we just did a Grand Deacon of Dinero question. It was 8 times the number, 45 more than 5 times the number, blah, blah, blah. This is very different, because if you read this question, it says, one number is 5 more than another number. Whoa! Whoa! One number, other number. 2 numbers in the same problem. So we have to come off to the side, and we have to go write a little statement over here. First number, second number. Now, 99% of the time, the first number is going to be either n or x. We tend to use x for things, lots of things, but we tend to use n for numbers, because number starts with the letter n. Now, it says one number is 5 more than another number. What's 5 more than 10?
15.
How'd you get that? Hey, right, start with 10, add 15. What's 5 more than 100?
105.
How'd you get that?
100 plus 5.
100 plus 5. So what's 5 more than n?
Any number?
How do you say add in algebra?
Greater than?
A good girl.
No, n plus 5. See, some people said 5n, but 5n means 5 times n. 5n does not mean add 5. So if the first number is n, and the second number is 5 more than n, I write n plus 5. So this is very, very, very important. Hey, I don't want to slough over this. When you read a question and it talks to you about 2 numbers, we need to set the problem up. And we always want to say first number, second number, or one number, other number, something like that. The first number will, for all practical purposes, always be x or n, whatever you want to call it. The next one, you have to read about it. It says it's 5 more than. What operation is more than? Addition. So that's how I knew, boys, that it was n plus 5. Now, let's see what it says about the sum of the 2 numbers is 25. What does this key word here, sum, mean? Add. And it says the sum of the 2 numbers is what? 25. So I know I have to equal 25. Now, the sum of the what? What does it say? Read it.
2 numbers.
2 numbers. There's the first number. There's the second number. The sum, first number, second number. Now, once I write this, I just solve it the way I've been taught. Same side, same operation, 2n plus 5 equals 25, minus the 5, die, 2n is 20, divide by 2, n is 10. Only thing is, I'm not quite done. What are the last 3 words?
Find both numbers.
Find both numbers. So this guy over here is 10. This guy is 10 plus 5, which is
15.
15. Okay? So today's lesson, we just did.
So there's 2 answers?
It begins with this, yes, it says find both numbers. There were 2 numbers from the beginning, so there are 2 answers. Now, it's extremely important that you understand what we just said to you. We gave you a form or a structure for doing this question. I began by saying one number and another number. Then I wrote expressions. N is always the first number for all practical purposes. Then I have to translate the second number, and then I do what the problem says to. So let's have you guys try this one. That's the one we did already. We're gonna go to this one here. The one before this we already did. One number is 9 more than another number, the sum is 19. Go ahead. Once you get the answer, you gotta ask what they say. They might say find the larger number, find the smaller number, or find both numbers. If you think your answer's the larger number and they want the larger answer, you're done. If you think your number's the smaller number and they want the larger answer, you have to do a little bit more to it. And if they say find both numbers and you only have one, you're not done yet. Okay. Ready? One number, other number. You could write first and second. It doesn't make a difference what you write. What do we almost always let the first number be? N or X, whatever. One number is 9 more than the other number. What do I write now? N plus 9. Good. Underline the important stuff. The sum is 19. So you know I always like to write equals 19 because that's so easy. What does sum mean? Add them up. There's my first one. There's my second one. Okay, same side, opposite side. Same side. What's one n plus another n? 2n plus 9 is 19. Minus 9. Die. 2n is 10. Divide by 2. N is 5. Make sense?
Yeah.
With the other n, I'm just asking just to make sure, because I did it just to like
Mhm.
understand. Would the other n equal 4? Not 14.
14, that's right. What we do is we take the 5 that we just got as an answer, put it there,
Yeah.
and then 5 plus 9 is 14.
Okay.
And if you notice, by the way, 5 plus 14 does add up to 19. So there's a way to know that your answer is correct. All right, let's go to the next one. Got a piece of lumber. I love drawing pictures for something like this. Here's my piece of lumber. Take a look, see if you can set it up. Okay, so Billy, he's down by the railroad tracks, sitting low in the back seat of his Cadillac. Diamond Jackie, she's so intact. And I'll stop singing at that point because the song gets a little adultish for you. Now,
Sure?
yeah, very.
Positive?
Called New York City Serenade by Bruce Springsteen. He opened the concerts at the MetLife
How do you
this
spell
year.
that?
New York City Serenade, it's a great song. Okay, Billy cuts the 96-inch long piece of 2x4 lumber into 2 pieces. This is gonna be the first piece, this is gonna be the second piece. What do we always call the first piece?
Number 1.
X or N. Right, then we just go over that. Second piece is twice as long. What would that be? What's twice as long? What operation? Is that adding,
Times two.
subtracting,
Times
multiplying,
two.
dividing? Multiplying. How do I write 2 times x?
Times two.
2x. Then what does it say? Don't those two pieces all together make up the whole piece of lumber?
Yeah.
And how long is the whole piece of lumber?
96.
So 1x plus 2x is 96. Same side, opposite side? Same side. Who said opposite?
Ashley.
3x is 96. Is that your name, Ashley?
Yeah.
All right, 3x is 96. Divide by 3, Ashley. X is, let's see, 32. How long is each piece? Now, first piece, excuse me, don't pack up. That means you're more interested in getting out of here than making sure you got the last thing done. First piece is 32. How do I figure out this guy? How do I figure out this guy? What does 2x mean, everybody? 2 times x. So what's 2 times 32?
64.
And by the way, does 32 plus 64 add up to 96?
Yes.
All right.